Welcome to coordinate geometry. Before we begin to learn about coordinate geometry, let's revisit some terms from geometry. A point is something that doesn't have any dimensions, and a line has one dimension, that is length. A plane has two dimensions, length and height. Whereas a solid, like a cube shown here, has three dimensions. It has length, it has height, and it also has depth. In this lesson of coordinate geometry, we will be primarily learning about planes and how to represent points on a plane numerically. Let us look at this figure, and as you see, there are 9 boxes. If I ask you to tell me exactly where the red box is, you can probably say it is on row 2, or you can say it is on column 3. But if you just give me this information alone, for instance, if you tell me the red box is on row 2, that alone will not help me point out where exactly that red box is, because the row 2 will have more than one box, like an orange box, yellow box, and a red box. So it is not possible for me to exactly pinpoint where the red box is on row 2. Similarly, if you just told me that the red box is on column 3, then even that would not be sufficient for me to exactly pinpoint where the red box is, because the column 3 has a green box, red box, and a blue box. So in order to exactly pinpoint where the red box is, you have to give me both row and column information. If you tell me that the red box is on row 2 and column 3, then I can go to row 2 and find where the column 3 is, and at this intersection I will find the red box. So in order to exactly pinpoint the red box or any box in this figure, you would have to give me two numbers, row and a column. If you give me this pair of numbers, I can exactly pinpoint where that box is that we are looking for. So we just saw how we could exactly pinpoint the red box by using a pair of numbers. That very notion of representing an object on a plane with two numbers led to the development of a new system of geometry called coordinate geometry. So coordinate geometry is the system of geometry where the positions of the points, as you see, on a plane are represented using an ordered pair of numbers. So what do we mean? Consider this plane and the points on the plane. Assume that these are rows and these are columns. So if I have to pinpoint the yellow dot, I would say it is at second row and second column. So this is a ordered pair of numbers, and we are using this to represent the point on a plane. So coordinate geometry deals with representing points on a plane using an ordered pair of numbers. René Descartes was a famous French mathematician who is considered to be the father of coordinate geometry. René Descartes was the first person to describe curves in an arithmetic fashion. As seen in the figure, René was able to represent a point on that curve using two numbers px and py. So px is the perpendicular distance from the point to the line y, and py is a perpendicular distance from the point p to the line x. So this pair of numbers is called an ordered pair, and the first number is called abscissa and the second number py is called the ordinate. This theory of representing points using a pair of numbers led to the emergence of new system of geometry called coordinate geometry. Let us now consider a plane as seen here, and let's draw a horizontal number line as shown here. So a number line, all the numbers to the right side of the 0 are positive and the left side of the 0 are negative. Now let's draw another number line but this time let's draw it vertically. And let's call this y dash. So we have a horizontal number line x dash and a vertical number line y dash. The intersection point of these two lines is called the origin. In these lines are called axes. The horizontal one is called the x-axis and the vertical one is called the y-axis. And if you observe, these lines divide this plane into four parts, and these are called quadrants. And this plane, which has been divided into four equal parts by these two perpendicular axes, is called Cartesian plane. And it gets its name from Rene Descartes, who is considered to be the father of coordinate geometry. So any point on this plane now can be represented using two numbers. Let's consider a point. So if I were to ask you to describe this point that is in the red, you can do that by saying it is at 2 and minus 1. So what we are saying is it is at 2 units of distance from the y-axis and 1 unit of distance from the x-axis in the negative direction. So the first number is called abscissa and the second number is called the ordinate, and this pair is called ordered pair, and the numbers in the ordered pair are called the coordinates. And specifically the first coordinate or the x coordinate is called abscissa as mentioned before, and the second coordinate or the y coordinate is called the ordinate. Now let's look at the signs of abscissa and ordinates in the different quadrants. So if you have a point in the first quadrant and if you look at the x coordinate, the point on the x-axis, it is positive. Similarly, if you look at the y coordinate, it is also positive. Whereas in the second quadrant, the x-axis is negative. So the x coordinate will be negative and the y coordinate is positive. So the ordinate will be positive. Similarly, in the third quadrant, you have both x and y as negative. So both the abscissa and the ordinate are negative. And finally, as you see in the previous example that we have explained, the point in the fourth quadrant had a positive x coordinate or the abscissa and a negative y coordinate or a ordinate.